Ladies and gentlemen, our next guest, you might be wondering if you listen to podcasts where the F he's been, like we all have. But he's right here today, and there's a huge announcement that I need to make you aware of, because he is coming back to the podcasting airwaves this Friday. You might remember his last podcast, the Slut Pig podcast, which I was wondering if he was going to keep the name, but it is not. It is a new, I cannot wait to talk about how he came up with this name, but also he is one of the funniest people that I follow on Instagram, just constantly a brilliant, funny mind. He also works in radio, which I also want to find out because that has been a lifelong fascination of mine. I grew up on radio and I always love, I think I follow your radio station now too as well. Plus, he designed some of the coolest products. You guys, if you're watching this, it's I have my Who is Hunky Dory with Kathy Hilton sweatshirt, and I am about to purchase the Blocked by Lisa Rinna sweatshirt.
Yes.
It just came. We've got to talk about it. Anyways, the Christian Grey Snow podcast premieres this Friday. Christian Grey Snow, welcome back to the show.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me. What an intro.
I mean, I could keep going. I truly, okay, just to get this out of the way, because I actually get DMs with this. What happened to Slut Pig podcast? What happened to the dip? What happened?
Yes, I had the Slut Pig podcast with the dip for about a year. It was actually
and you had great guests. I mean, you had Kyle Richards,
I had Kyle, Vicki,
everybody.
I had Teresa. It was incredible. So it was, it was successful, but unfortunately, I had a meeting with the dip and they told me that they were having to restructure basically their entire company. So it was myself and a lot of other podcasts that were affected.
Yeah, it's not just you. That's what I want to say. It wasn't just your podcast. It was a lot of podcasts.
Yep. So it definitely wasn't, while it sucked, I wasn't the only one affected, a lot of people were. But I, got lucky, through some work contacts, and got put in touch with this wonderful company called Herdat Media.
Which, by the way, they have amazing podcasts.
Yeah, they produced Melissa Rivers' show. I was like, okay.
I mean, if you go and look at Herdat Media's podcast, and I know I probably shouldn't be doing this as my own podcast and all that, but they have an amazing lineup of people, and now including you. But my question is, my thing was, it's such a ballsy name, Slut Pig. And of course that comes from the, famous scene with the Richards sisters from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, where they like, Christian, we love you. We don't love the name Slut Pig.
That is exactly how it went. And it also went something like this. Are you sure? I was like, I was like, you don't understand. I was like, I sometimes go in bars and people will be like, Slut Pig. I'm like, it's, I was like, there is no offense here. I was like, anyone who I want to listen to my podcast knows what that means, Wait,
by the way, I love that you go to bars and there's like a 5% potential that they don't even know. They just want to call you a slut pig. That's amazing.
It's amazing. And so, they just, their stance was that they wanted something that could be a little more universal, that maybe wouldn't kind of put me in a corner as far as just Housewives, in case I kind of want to branch out.
I saw that immediately. I knew immediately because I was like, because I think I even saw one of your stories of like, oh, help me think of a name for the show. But I think the Christian Grey Snow Show is a great name. And I love the Snow Show part of it, even though that's still I like that. And it kind of it's still going to be your sharp humor. It's going to be all this, it's going to be the same show.
Yeah.
It's just a different name. That's it.
And I think if anything, it challenges me, to open up and be a little more open and honest, I guess, about my personal life, which a lot of people tell me. They're like, I feel like we know nothing about you. You never post anything about yourself. It's always about, all these other bitches. I'm like, yeah, duh.
I feel so it's like, I always feel weird about that too. I subtly try to now post something about my life, but I get really nervous because I'm not like Sam, Bravo Historian's always good. I always see she's doing lives and Maggie's great at it, best of Bravo. But I feel so weird because it's like, who the F cares about what I'm doing?
That's how I am. And also I'm boring. I'm single. I don't date anyone.
At my desk doing a podcast.
Literally my biggest goal every day is to get home from work, and just be, I don't really lead an exciting life.
Wait, actually, I disagree with this. Just real quick, I wanted, before we get to the Housewives stuff, because you moved from Los Angeles to, where are you at now? Seattle?
Yes, I'm in Seattle.
And you took a job at it's like a morning team on a radio station, right?
Yes, it's a morning radio show called The Jubal Show. We're in like 30 cities. It's an iHeart show. We're syndicated. Yeah, and so
and you do all of their like you're a character. Not only do you work behind the scenes, but you are a character on their show.
So like they hired me as the digital producer, you know, because like I'd worked for, you know, The Real for years, which, you know, where Garcelle was on. That's how I know Garcelle. I was there with them for years. And then I decided to make the transition. I just wanted something new, something different. I wanted to get out of LA. And so I found this job and got it. They hired me as the digital producer. And literally the day I walked in, I was complaining about my moving company and how they'd like fucked me over, you know, and they were like, do you want to tell this story on air?
See, that's what
fuck yeah, dude.
And I grew up on Stern. And so like, that was my favorite part is when they open up the universe where you're like, you're a character. This is a character. Cause then you feel like you're a part of their lives. Cause I was checking out, I think you run their social media channel too. And I was watching all their videos and all that, you know, I was like getting into it, but you got to meet the Backstreet Boys.
Oh my God. Yes. They surprised me on air and told me I got to go backstage to meet the Backstreet Boys, which was like, I mean, I don't think I've ever had a bigger like orgasm in my life than just like in that moment finding out that I got to meet them.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, you made the Backstreet Boys watch you orgasm? Like,
no, I couldn't even barely function when it actually happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what did you do? What did you say?
I got back there and I was just like, oh my fucking God. And first in line was Howie, and then it was Kevin, and then Nick was in the middle, and then it was AJ, and then it was Brian. And I was just like, hey, Howie, you're hot. Kevin, nice to see you. Nick. You know, and I just told him, I was like, you are literally the reason I'm gay, and I've wanted to tell you that since I was 7 years old.
What did he say?
Everyone started laughing, and he hugged me, and AJ's like, you should put that on a shirt, and I was like, I already did.
Yeah. What was the thing I saw you do? What was the concert you were at where with the team with Kim Zolciak?
Oh my God, yeah. So we had to go to Atlanta for some, you know, to see our Atlanta affiliate out there, and they were having some summer concert, and Charlie Puth was the headliner. And so
Charlie Puth loves to gay bait, by the way.
I mean,
he's always in his undies and all that stuff. Like
he posted an ass pic the other day, and I was like, if one of my gay friends did that, we'd be taken down for lewd content. You know? So yeah, he was the headliner, and basically our job was to like, we took turns with some of the local stations going out to introduce the acts, like, and get the crowd hyped up, etc. Well, I had several margaritas, and they come to me and they're like, Christian, there's a housewife here. And I was like, please let it be Sheree Whitfield. You know, and then I was like, no, Charlie Puth. And I was like, it's probably fucking Kim here with her kids, isn't it? And
did you say anything controversial to Kim?
I didn't say anything to Kim. I went and tried to convince her to come on stage with us. They were like, Christian can try to convince her to come on stage with us. So I was like, I was talking to her and Brielle. I was like, hey, if you like Charlie, we're introducing him. If that's who you're here to see, you know, like come out and help us introduce him. You know, it'll get people excited.
Did you go, who do I have to blow to get you on stage?
I should have, but you know, Croy was there, and just in case he didn't catch the reference, I didn't want to get like beat down before I had the chance to explain myself. You know? It was also funny because when I met her, I'm like kind of fanning. I'm like, oh, and then I was like, hi, Croy. You know, like,
wait, did she? Because here's the deal too, is that, you know, even though you like, is she aware of your internet presence?
I don't think so. A
lot of the times, like, I hope they aren't, you know, like, not honest, for you.
I don't even know if I follow her.
Yeah, no, I don't.
I don't think I do. Yeah.
Dude. Well, this is, I want to tell, I haven't told the podcast this, and I know you're not a fan of hers, but I got unfollowed by Leah McSweeney the other day.
What the fuck? Why would she follow you?
I don't know.
Anything about Roni?
No, I'm just like, I guess I'm not a cool New Yorker enough but I know you've always not liked Leah. Yeah, exactly.
from day one, I was like, no.
But that just shows you how mature I am, where I was like, I was like, I don't even know that. I was like, wow, I'm such a fucking loser. I took that personally. And then I found out I got unfollowed by Captain Sandy too. And I'm like, what are these bitches like? Are they like going around talking about me? And then like, let's all unfollow this guy.
And I feel like you don't, it's not like you post anything that's rude towards like anyone else.
I
You
don't
know,
think
I mean,
so.
like,
I mean,
I feel like,
it's Lisa Rinna and Erica Jane. It's the
yeah.
basics. It's like not even which. Okay, so let's I guess jump into some Housewives stuff here. But let's start by actually. You wish Cherie Whitfield was there, and She by Sheree. We finally. Which I thought I got emotional watching that finale of Atlanta. I thought it was a really well done finale. And it sucks because Housewives are now into the stratosphere and how, like, you know, with drama and crimes that I feel like people don't realize when it's like, that's just a good Housewives episode and show. And we don't really celebrate it like we do like Criminal Activity now.
Sometimes the basics are really, really good, you know?
Yeah. So I thought the basic was really good. The reunion, like the first part was fine, nothing too crazy, but the She by Sheree website went down immediately. And then the big things is the Shine or whatever. She supposedly, what was the deal? She like took their clothing.
It basically seemed like she did like either got it from them or got it from the same wholesale supplier as them and put her logo on it, which, like, listen, it is what it is, but it's like, you would just hope that one would have found a way around that, perhaps, you know, like, yeah. I don't know. But, you know, for me, the issue is the pricing. Like, because it's
like, what is this? BravoCon? Like Sheree, what are you?
No, literally, I was like, do I want to buy a BravoCon ticket or do I want a pair of fucking mass-produced sweatpants and a hoodie? You know,
it's like, do you know the goodwill Sheree has from all the fans for this many years? Because I was like, I want to support, but when you see $230, she's selling a note, like a spiral notebook, you guys, for $35.
Yes,
a spiral notebook.
Listen, and I have a merch shop. I know how much it costs.
Which, by the way, it's the Slut Pig Shop. That's not changing, right?
Yes, the slutpigshop.com. It will always be the Slut Pig Shop. I refuse to change that.
Guys, I'm going to put that on the show notes, but I'll also put it in my stories tomorrow that you can just swipe up. I'm telling you, you will not be able to just get one thing. And he's constantly adding things to this store. Truly one of my favorite, like, really, really fucking cool. Anyways,
thank you.
So the Sheree thing. Then this week, I found that she kind of made a joke at it and said, use product code not She by
Shein. Yeah.
Or Shein for 20% off. But then now somebody did a video saying that they found the same things at Walmart.
Yes. It's she has to just be getting them from like wholesale suppliers, I'm guessing, but which is fine. It's fine, but charge,
but not at that price point. Yes.
Charge $120 for the whole set. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my whole thing is like, do you know how many of us would have put out money for that shit? Like, I would have
even put I am so poor and cheap. Like I would have bought, because I want to be a part of that.
Yes.
Like, completely. Like,
I mean, I still almost did. Like, I was drunk at the bar trying to do it, and thank God her website crashed, or I probably would have bought them. I couldn't get my fucking card to work, and I was like, nothing. It won't let me type anything in, and then the website wasn't working, and I was like, you know what? Probably a sign from God.
But she's also like my favorite housewife too, because even when Andy at the reunion, it's like you can just tell the insecurity in there so much. She's like, well, I raised my family and I did that, and it's like that's what fascinates me, is that this is somebody wanting to be a baller and wanting to be a girl boss. And you can tell, we saw her struggle with her prison dude and,
But see, that's my thing. I'm like, I don't know that she really wants it. I all this time I thought she wanted She by Sheree. I
think it's insecurity.
Well, I think that she just wanted, I think she likes the idea of it, or it's either that or maybe, like you said, insecurity. There's something about being a go-getter in Sheree that she don't get in a hurry for nobody, and I respect that. Like, do you?
Yeah. By the way, I respect being lazy too. I love being lazy.
Live life at your own pace, honey. But my thing is like, you are sitting on a gold mine. Like, and
truly,
my thing is, and if you hired the right amount of people, you probably wouldn't even have to lift a finger, and
it. Like that, it shows you like investing in the right team.
Yes.
Like she must like just have zero team that she trusts.
I don't think she cares, or she doesn't want to put out the money to hire people. I think she wants the money. She doesn't want to put out the money for something. Because my thing is like, when it's a business to this caliber, what she could have here, I mean, this could be legit shit. You know what I mean? Like,
she could
be in stores if she wanted to, like, but she, she's not getting on top of it. And my thing is that you can't tell me there aren't opportunities with like suppliers and merchandise people and teams that haven't reached out to her to be like, look, let's help bring this to life.
That's what, yeah. Don't you have like a manager? Like, I mean, like
Something.
an actual what did you think about on the finale when Apollo came out to walk the runway? And it is funny because it's like, I even go like, oh, cool, Apollo, not like almost forgetting all of the bullshit Apollo has done on Real Housewives. I was like, oh, and I was like, wait, he got violent. He was in prison. And I'm like,
he jumped in the pool with Kenya in front of his wife. For me, that was like worse than going to jail, was grabbing a woman and throwing her over your shoulder. That's not your wife. And jumping in the pool with her. I was happy to see Apollo, to be honest. It felt like it was refreshing to see him. He seems happy. And to be honest, I even tweeted, I was like, can Apollo be like the first official like guy friend of like him and Sheree? I just kind of like their vibe, like them hanging out.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, I did kind of dig that, and I loved how he kind of stuck up for her with her prison dude that came and visited her, and also I almost teared up seeing Dwight.
I know, and who else was there? Snow. Her last name's Snow.
Christian Grace Snow.
No, what's her name? From season 1.
Deshawn. Yeah.
She was there.
Brittany Snow.
Yeah, Deshawn was there. Yeah, I love it. That was such a wonderfully produced finale. It really was.
I agree, and I feel like, but that's what's frustrating because we have the Salt Lake, which season 3 is about to premiere, and we saw the preview trailer for that, and Jen Shaw, we have a whole season filmed where she is proclaiming her innocence. And like, what scares me is that I feel like the last episode is going to be like, actually, I'm guilty. Okay, cut. Like, what do you think, or what are your predictions for this season with Salt Lake, and what is your actual overall feeling about Salt Lake with these women at this point?
Well, my feeling is that while I do think we have 5 powerhouses and they're the full-time ladies, like I am always against 5 full-time cast members, unless, I mean, this is not,
because it's too much. It's like, it's too hard. Remember that season in New York? Like, I think it was like the last season, but they only had like 5 and it was too much work for them.
And unless it's constant group scenes, like, you have to spread that shit out more, so, I don't know. So I'm a little worried about that, but they do also have 3 friends, which is, that to me also feels kind of messy because I'm like, you're able to give them 3 official friend slots. You gave them photo shoots, all that shit, but not one of them was worthy of holding a snowflake.
Is that just like is that just like a cost effective measure? Like, why do you think they do that?
They're already in their early season, so it's not like any of them have like established, it's not like the Salt Lake girls are making Potomac money when we're talking shows. And to be honest, it probably took the Potomac girls 3 or 4 seasons to have really high episodic rates. I mean, it takes time to build it up. So maybe it is that, or maybe it's just because they knew that next season everything's going to have to look way, way, way different. So that's like, let's give them the 5 they're familiar with, because enough change is going to happen next year, and then we'll see what happens.
Are you Shaw Squad?
Fuck no. I mean, listen, is she incredible TV? Absolutely. Her cast photo, probably one of the best I've ever seen. I will gas that bitch up 24/7, but she is obviously not like a great person.
Dude, I heard that she was getting a booth at fucking BravoCon to sell shit.
It won't surprise me. She'll
probably. Could you? But I mean, like the balls on her. After you plead guilty to defrauding elderly, you're still going to show up. And the funny thing is, Bravo fans will be like, "Fuck yeah, woo!"
I'll wait in line for days. Are you serious? She even has me blocked, and I would. And listen, I don't wait in line.
Heather Gay unfollowed me because of my Jen Shaw jokes. Like, what the fuck? Like, I had like a beautiful conversation with Heather Gay, but Heather Gay stands by Jen Shaw.
She does. Well, she better watch it or she's going to end up right there in jail with her, because Jen will take anybody under the bus with her.
Well, I mean, I think you at this point think like a producer. Mm-hmm. You do that for your job. You do that as a producer. Maybe you've seen the first episode, maybe not. But as a producer, how do you tell this story in a way where you don't let her brag about being not guilty and then all of a sudden switch? Like, how do you do that and make sure that the victims get their kind of like, like what I'm saying? Like, how do you balance that all out?
I mean, at the end of the day, as a producer, I think your job is to tell the truth, but also, their truth might be different from the real truth. So that is all. And at the same time, as a producer, who maybe they believed her, maybe they chose to believe everything she was saying.
Like Jax Taylor on the first season of Vanderpump Rules, they had that making of, and the producers goes, we all thought Jax totally didn't cheat with the girl in Vegas. He swore up and down. We believed him.
And how producers and like crew members, I mean, they become like a second family and stuff. And I mean, that they want to root for these people, and I think at the end of the day, and it's not just Jen that they work with. They see her husband, they see her kids, they see the rest of her family. And like that's in the back of their mind. I don't think that they go in wanting, I mean, I think for entertainment purposes, is it good? Yes. But at the end of the day, like these are lives that are involved. And I don't know. That's a tough spot.
Like I'm so curious about the production level of that, of the conversations that go into this, and how you then, like I did not expect her to plead guilty last minute. We were all of us were like, we were ready for content of the trial outfits.
I was so excited for the outfits. I knew she was going to kill it.
I mean, Talk of Shame was going to go down there. We had everybody was planning something. So it really, truly did shock me. But it also shocked me because we saw postings from Meredith Marks going like, we are innocent until proven guilty in this country.
Well, and the fact that we all knew, because fans had spotted them obviously getting, because they wrapped the season earlier. So they were using this, I guess, as like pickup scenes or to maybe add in some extra episodes at the end. But it blew my mind that Jen Shah had the audacity to get on a fucking plane with them and fly to New York and then plead guilty.
And have Meredith stand up.
Yeah,
they stand up for you in her stories. They really, I'm like, so what do you, I mean, that to me is comically, like, that's to me, it's like, that to me is the show. Like, I want their reactions. I want their, like that to me is the show.
The only moment I care about in the upcoming season of Salt Lake is I need to know there were fucking cameras on Meredith's face when she found out Jen pleaded guilty. If there are,
as long as she doesn't face tune it on top of that camera. Yeah.
But just because, I mean, she was so adamantly against Jen. Like, you came for my kid. I don't fucking care if you die, period. Like, we can interact in the same room, but I don't give a shit about you. And so
then
for her
switched.
And then to be right originally.
Well, wait, where are you on Lisa Barlow?
I think that she's very much an LVP. I think sniper from the side, but not that clean,
Because you famously do not like Lisa Vanderpump. Famously. Yes. I'm now remembering that. So you think but I think Lisa Barlow is going to have a great season just because she's going to be against Jen from the beginning and maybe the only one against Jen.
I think so too. And also, I mean, I say that she's like LVP in the sense that I think that she's just messy in how she gets her dirty work done. She could be a little cleaner about it, but also she's a lot more enjoyable than LVP in my opinion. Like, at the end of the day, like, Lisa Barlow is fucking hilarious television. The fast food, I love it.
I mean, those little things make
she's
a housewife.
Cooked like once in 20 years. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, I love that she made her sons have a product line called Fresh Wolf. Like, I wish my mom did that.
Yes. And the best is whenever she does the videos with them and you can see her mouthing the words, telling them what to say.
I love it. I mean, to me, those are the little peculiarities that really like make Housewives to me. And it's the stuff that I keep coming back to. Real quick to touch on, are you giving Real Girlfriends of Paris a shot at all?
I watched a little bit of the first episode. Like, I was like cooking dinner. It got my attention more than I thought it would, but I'll be honest, I haven't like followed up with it. I was very upset to see the ratings though, because they were horrible.
Dude, I was looking at the ratings today and it was like I think it was like Watch What Happens Live even got better ratings than
their demo was like a point.
It was like 0.2. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. It was like really, really low. And then on top of that, then Dubai launched this season. Where were you on Dubai?
Listen, a lot of people weren't here for Dubai, but I enjoyed it. I love the women. I mean, I genuinely liked everyone on the cast, even though, I mean, Caroline Stanbury did kind of annoy me at times, but
me too.
I like all the women. Do I think it could have been more Housewives-ish? Yes, but I think that's that first season groove. It might just take a little bit.
Yeah, by the way, like you said earlier, remember, these things do take time. Like even the Potomac ladies, remember, people didn't start kissing the Potomac lady's ass until season 4, realizing that they had like a gold mine, but that takes time to build.
Yeah. And there were so many of us for how long being like, y'all have to watch this shit. Like, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
You know? So we'll see. I mean, I feel like
I just hope it doesn't get canceled, but I don't think it will, because Peacock, I'm worried about Peacock, like as a streaming service.
I get that. Yeah. I mean, my whole thing is too, I feel like I want them to take advantage of what the gold mine that they have hit, which to me is the content that features, familiar faces from the past and current faces mixed, these people we followed.
Yeah.
For years.
Phaedra or
like
another
that,
ladies from London.
That
Cast member.
type of lane and avenue is everything they need to do. Not just Ultimate Girls Trip, but I want to see like Vicki go have to embalm a body and Phaedra have to sell insurance for a day, something like that.
Yeah. Which by the way, this is like like people like us that do what we do, like I'll just sit there all day long and think of like different like formats.
Yeah.
Like, let's do Housewives swap. Let's do this. It's always the same idea. Let's do fantasy football. Let's do this. Like, I want this to continue and thrive. Like, I never want Bravo to go away. Like, I just never want it. It makes me feel so good. I have it's okay. I have so many questions for you. First off,
go
Maggie Kelly was on your BFF, Best of Bravo.
My girl.
She's awesome. And you have a very special relationship with one Vicki Gunvalson. Speak to me about why you find Vicki so special, but you're doing shots with her at Andale's.
Yeah.
Like, you went and like, that was for your birthday, right?
That was a dream come true. Yeah. It was amazing.
Like, how do you just hang out? How do you not just be nervous the whole time?
Well, you know what? Because honestly, though, when you meet the first time I met Vicki, obviously I was nervous, but within 2 minutes of meeting her, I swear to God, Maggie was there the first time we met too. And it was myself and like 3 friends. We were in Vegas the first time we met, and it was for when Vicki had
the strip club one,
stripper
right?
party. Yes. And because my friends and I were kind of joking, we're like, should we go? And I had just moved to Seattle. I had just started a new job. I couldn't take time off work or anything. So
it's not like you have tons of money,
Yeah, I don't. So I was gonna have to fly out like Friday night, be there Friday, event Saturday, fly back Sunday, radio in the morning Monday. Like boom, 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 boom. But we get there and I tell Vicki, that we're coming, and she had followed me on Instagram at that point. She'd done my podcast. She knew that I was like,
yeah, she knew. Yeah.
I'll fight for that bitch. You know what I'm saying? And you ask why? Honestly, I do not know why. It has to be. I think a lot of it's rooted in like history and nostalgia, and just the fact that she is the OG. And I don't give a fuck about Gina Kia being the first. Vicki is the first and longest running, so it is what it is. Take it. I don't care. And it's just about respect, And I feel. Do Vicki and I agree on everything? Fuck no. We might agree. Vicki and I might agree on 1 thing out of 10. But when all these years of watching her, no one has ever made me laugh more. I think she's the funniest fucking person in the world. She's opened up her life. We've seen her go through all kinds of shit. And then to meet her, she was literally the nicest, sweetest, most fun, welcoming person. Like within 5 minutes of all of us being together, it was like my group of friends had known her and her group of friends forever,
Yeah.
And so then she had her birthday party in Mexico. So we went down for that. That was my first time in Puerto Vallarta. And I met her sister-in-law. It's a lady named Mary Ellen, and I fucking love that bitch. Me and her hit it off. And so then I ended up going back to PV for my birthday, and I invited Vicki, but she was originally going to be in Illinois with Brianna, so she couldn't come. But her sister-in-law, Mary Ellen, was like, well, I'm fucking coming. So
I guess I have to come. Yeah.
But yeah, so then something switched with Brianna and Vicki's dates at the last minute. And so Vicki she was like, okay, I can come. And it was just.
But that was the same trip,
Central.
you guys. It was the same trip that Jen Shaw did plead guilty, because I remember a picture of you and Maggie, Best of Bravo, having to be on your phones doing content.
Literally,
which is the worst.
I was laying in the bed hungover as shit from like the last 3 days. I'm laying in like a cold, dark room, just like trying to relax. And I hear Maggie be like, we were in this like huge like condo, like Airbnb. And I was like, what? And she's like, Jen Shaw pled guilty. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I came out and it was already all over everywhere, and I was like, where's Meredith? Get cameras on Meredith.
I want to remind people too, you brought up Ultimate Girls Trip. The first season, they're looking at one of your fucking Instagrams because you had the inside scoop where I don't know if you guys remember that in the first season, they're like, oh, it's already word's gotten out that there's already a fight going on. And that was your account. Did they blur you out or did they not?
They blurred me, but the thing is, so my friend Anthony used to work for
Dominic,
TMZ.
right?
Yes, everybody go follow all over Anthony. He's the coolest fucker ever, and he has good ass tea too. So he had posted about it on Twitter or something, and then I screenshotted his tweet and posted like, "Hey, shit's going down," and I think producer said something to the girls like something's going down, and Kyle knew where the fuck to go on Instagram. So she went to my page and sure as shit, I had posted Anthony's, thing and they blurred it out. But then they talked about Anthony by name on the show.
Yeah.
So,
well, Anthony, this actually segs into what another one that you're a huge supporter of. Anthony went to the wedding of the century. He went to Teresa Giudice and Louis Ruelas, or however you say his name. And guess who his date was, you guys? Yeah. Kenya flipping Moore. He was at the wedding with. What, because I know Teresa's another one of those where you just it's like like a Vicki, you respect history. What was your thoughts about the wedding as a whole? How did it make you feel? Where are you on Louis?
I think that anyone who thinks that Teresa is not in on the television of it all should have been proven wrong the moment they saw her hair, because she knew exactly what she was doing. She was producing a fucking special.
So the 1,500 bobby pins, she knew. It is funny that detailed information got out there immediately. Like,
she needed a shock moment. The entire fucking world was talking about her hair. Okay. Like, Melissa wishes.
I was making it was such a gift. I remember because it was like that. It gave me so many ideas. And I know this sounds silly because this is what the creative process is, but like it made me laugh so much. And I was thinking of ideas of like, okay, Melissa and Joe are hiding in the hair, or this is, or Trump hiding files in her hair. Like there was, it makes me so happy to think of jokes, and it's not even a personal thing. It's just like, how do you not make a joke about that? How do you not?
And it's those few moments too that's like, God, I love the Bravo community, because a lot of times like we be at each other's throats, like I'll be blocking people that like disagree with me, but every once in a while, like a moment comes about where we can all just enjoy it, and that was definitely one of those moments.
Because then you scroll through and sometimes I wouldn't say competitive, but I would say like, it was one of the only times where like I thought everybody's jokes were pretty funny. Like I was like, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's lame. Or I'll even say that with my own shit. I'll be like, that's lame, you fucker. Yeah. You couldn't think of a better fucking, you just had to post something, didn't you, idiot? Like I'm shit talking myself all the time. Yeah. Like I'm like, oh, you had to see if you could get some likes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that leads us. Oh, and by the way, so Melissa and Joe not going to the wedding, were you shocked about that?
I wish I was, but it's like, I think deep down, I knew they were going to pull some shit. I knew a stunt was going to happen.
Yeah. But I hear the rumor is that Teresa brought up a rumor about like Melissa cheating. So why would you then go to the wedding? I mean, I don't
think that was the case. I think that it was brought up by someone else on camera earlier in the season. But also the thing is, y'all have been doing this for 13 fucking years. If y'all don't get together the night before a finale and be like, everything we say tomorrow does not count. Okay. Just have your moment. But the thing is also like, that's your sister, you're only really living like main relative, aside from all their cousins and stuff. And they don't even talk to half of them. So it just, I couldn't believe it.
Why do you think Joey Gorga posts the way he does? Like I always make fun of it because he'll always be like, family is slicker than water unless they talk behind your back. And it's just a photo of him, like just scout. Like it never fully makes sense completely. And I'm like, it's like She by Sheree. You could get somebody to do this better for you,
Yeah. Or just stop. You're not like a motivational speaker.
It's only 5 photos. He keeps recycling with different phrases.
And it's like, and it's because someone cut him off on his way to get coffee that morning. He's like, the strength inside me, when you're a man, it's like, fucking shut the fuck up. And they annoy the shit out of me. Joe, I've always been I've always thought Joe is just like, I'm an only child, but my mom is the baby of 9 and my dad is like the middle of 5. And you know, my mom has always been very close with her siblings, but like, and my dad's very close with his too, but he has a brother who's like who's been babied his entire life, and he just reminds me of Joe. Like, it's just like everything is someone else's fucking fault. You know, it's constantly like having to make him fucking feel better. And it's just like,
like the sensitivity is at like an 89. Like it's such a high sensitive level.
And I think that Teresa was obviously very sensitive to his sensitivity for so long. And I think that it's just gotten increasingly, you know, the threshold for what he needs is just higher. And she's like, you know, I can't do this shit. Like,
but also, I mean, just you know, for us Housewives fans though, and I think this shows you how much people love Teresa, is that's why they were worried about Louis. Like, we went through we went through Brooks, like we went through Vicki and Brooks. Yeah. It's not like this is our first rodeo. It's not like we just picked somebody. It's that we actually learn from these shows more than the characters on the show learn from these shows, you know?
Yeah. And the thing, we really do want the best for, you know, even the ones that like,
dude, I want Teresa. Like Teresa isn't my favorite, but like, I want her to be happy. I want her to be with a good guy. I know she's I always say she seems like a great mother. I mean, like, I'm glad she got away from Joe. Even like, I'm not sentimental in the like she should have stayed with Joe. Fuck that. Yeah. Like, she kept her family together. But it is, I do get nervous about this aspect of it with any of the housewives, any guy that gets involved. Like, I saw Vicki at I thought of you at a Counting Crow show. Like, I was first, and my friend was like, no, you better get a picture and ask, you know, and she goes, oh, bless you. Cause I said, and she was with a hot dude. She was like a hot older dude. So she looks like she's doing good. Yeah. Okay.
And he's got his own money. I'll just say.
He did look very well.
Whenever I was
nice button up Express for Men shirt.
I was talking to him about his work and stuff, and I found out what he did. And I mean, even whenever I like got back with my friends, I remember my friend Brittany, she was like, that motherfucker's got money. I was like, good. He won't be taking my girls.
Yeah, Vicki can keep the Kodo money all to herself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wait, has Vicki ever tried to sell insurance to you?
I think she gave me somebody's information for a quote one time.
Perfect.
But I had like totally walked into it. I think I'd said something like I was getting a new car. It was when I was still in California, and it was something about my car. She's like, "Oh, here, reach out to this person."
Two last topics, and I'm saving the best for last. Okay, but what's your story for BravoCon? What are you doing?
Honestly, just today I was even texting my mom. I was like, I don't know, because I already had like tickets to a concert in Kentucky booked 2 weeks after that. It's the Judge reunion tour, their final tour. And it was,
but didn't one of them,
Naomi passed.
Oh yeah.
So now it's like this final marking of like the Judge music. And I got tickets to the final show in their hometown, and Faith Hill is coming to perform with Winona. And like me growing up as like a country music lover, that is just like huge. So I already had that booked. I will say this.
But you're such a huge part of Bravo for all of us fans. And
I know I want to come so bad, but it's just hard with like getting time off of work and stuff. But I will say this. I have a flight and a hotel booked for BravoCon. I
love that you're like, you know what? It's so tough. I already have this. I don't have a fucking flight or a hotel. You're like, but I do have all of this.
I have everything. I am
so disorganized. Oh my God.
I have everything but a ticket. I booked with like miles and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
I love that you're already way more prepared, and you might not even be there. I saw the lineup of events today, and it is one of those things like I don't personally care about like photo ops with other people, but I'm really curious. Like, I want to see the panels with the producers. I want to see like, and also I think I'm like one of the only people like, but I geek out about Andy Cohen. I like Andy Cohen a lot. I think he's just a great host. And he just they announced his book, Most Talkative, is being optioned by NBC for a TV series.
I think that's going to be awesome.
Do you think what there's supposed to be a surprise announcement at BravoCon? What do you think it is?
Probably Roni cast, Roni legacy,
but not Andy retiring from Bravo.
I don't think so.
Because that was the rumor going around, and then somebody started a rumor saying Craig Conover was going to be the replacement, and I was like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?"
I mean, I would hope that at this point they would at least let all the like Bravo accounts audition for it. I think we at least it should be
I just don't think it should be a straight dude, and it shouldn't be Craig Conover unless he promises to get hammered every night. And
it definitely
that's like the fun.
It definitely shouldn't be a completely straight dude. I do think that.
I agree. And I think it needs to be a woman or a gay dude. That's,
yes. Who would be great for like a watch what happens. Let's try to think like who in the Bravo sphere, if Andy were to ever hand over the reins. I think like a Brandy Glanville would be incredible.
But see, I would agree with that, except that she's proven she can't be controlled at times.
That's true.
And you have to bring that fun, but you also have to control it at times.
They
and
would
I feel
have
like
to lose the live element completely.
Yeah, like I feel like she would crush it 2 nights out of 4. You know, like she would kill it, and then 2 nights would just be a disaster, which might be fun. Yeah. Like there's a showman element to Andy that not a lot of people have. And I'm trying to think like anybody like Radio Andy, you got would like a Jeff Lewis or an Amy Phillips or
Amy would be amazing.
I mean, Amy would be, and Amy's already used on that show a bunch in impressions.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be great at it. You could audition. I was thinking like, Faces by Bravo, Steven. I don't know. I mean,
Danny Pellegrino.
I mean, Danny, of course, is a great choice. I mean, listen, Ronnie and Ben, if they chose to do a 2, switch it up completely. But I don't know. That's something in the back of my head. If you do get hired as the host, can I do like street segments? Would you hire me to do streets?
Absolutely. 100%. We'll put you outside Erica's house to get a daily report, on who.
Okay. Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad
get you all worked up.
I'm so glad you fed into the, like, okay, so let's get into Beverly Hills now. We are coming up on the a new episode tonight, which we get to watch after this. But something like, so my friend Maritza Lopez, who does all, she's works for me and just does amazing artwork. But she told me, she goes, "Oh, Christian, ask Christian who blocked him. He says he's hurt." And then I ran over to look at your stories, and I was like, but then I'm so. You guys, like, I get so nervous about reaching out to people. Like, when I reach out to you, it's like when I'm drunk, because like, that's when I have the most confidence. Like that all the time. It's like when I have the most confidence in myself is when I'm drunk. So that's it. And and so I was wondering, and she goes, "Ask him." And I go, "Oh, I don't want to bother him." And I was thinking, is it Kyle? I was like, there's no way Kyle would block. But I said, you are close with Kyle, but who did block you?
It was Rinna. I was part of the Rinna blocking spree, but it was just it
got you. It hurt you.
It got me because I've talked to her for years.
Has she unblocked you yet?
No, and she blocked my work accounts too.
Wait, but why that is though?
Is it because you block all the accounts or whatever?
Yeah, remember when we block people, it says block this and all the other accounts that is associated with this account?
But it says accounts they may create. This is not an account I have ownership over. It's just an account.
I just assumed, because that's insane if you blocked your work account.
Yeah, and it was, I checked and I swear it wasn't. I'm going to do a recheck before I record my podcast tomorrow and talk and share exactly why I think this is fucked up and why I think she did this. But I have fucking thoughts.
Well, she did this to everybody. So that's a great tease for Friday's show of the Christian Grey Snow show. But what I do want to say is I love that you took something sad for you, but you made gold out of it. You have a Blocked by Lisa Rinna shirt that you put up immediately, pretty much, which I was like, oh, I love this. And by the way, welcome. Wait, dude. Well, welcome to the right side of the team, Christian. This girl's been horrible from the beginning. I warned you about her. I warned Steven about her. Last time you were on this, you stood up for her. She is soulless and she will throw you under the bus. And you are now you are literally Denise Richards right now.
No,
thank God you are an openly gay man, because if not, she'd out you.
Honestly, I owe Denise an apology, probably.
Can I tell you what? I'm giving. Reach out, have her dad reach out to Denise, get her on your show.
I'm going to.
That would be an amazing episode.
I'll do it.
Honestly,
I'll apologize to her and tell her why I did what I did.
Yeah, exactly. That would be amazing. Like, and that would actually make like Page 6 and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Damn. Okay. They will. When you get to host Watch What Happens Live, you promised me a job.
I promise.
But at this point, though, as a viewer that actually thinks about these things deeply, what have you thought about this season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Because listen, I know grief is a motherfucker, and Lisa has self-diagnosed herself in every episode, but I've never seen her literally, I mean, just very unhinged week to week. What have your thoughts been?
I mean, Beverly Hills has always been one of the toughest for me, even though it's my favorite, because I almost, aside from LVP, like I really genuinely have always loved the cast. There's rarely ever been a cast member on Beverly Hills that I don't really like, especially now. I mean, they've been in such a good groove the last 2 or 3 years. I love everyone. So it's tough when, it gets like this. And I just think in particular, number one, this season has felt way too long. I mean, there's way too many episodes. I think it wouldn't have felt as dark and like drug out if there wasn't so much of it, if it would have just been a little concise.
But how much of that do you think is also not me and you, but like kind of the fans' faults in a way? Is that, I mean, there are certain accounts, we've been fucking talking about this Aspen shit for 8 months. Well, also, since it happened, we've been talking about it. It's exhausting. So I feel like I've been in a year-long season.
We have. I mean, you got to think, it's number one. It's literally 21 fucking episodes plus 3 reunion. That is half a fucking year. And like you said, we were hearing all about this.
Yeah, we already knew
for a month or two before.
Kathy this, Kathy that.
Before we even got a trailer, So it's like we're exhausted by it, and I hope people don't get offended by this, but I'm also tired of the Erica lawsuit shit. Like, I mean, I'm not tired of it. Like, I wish that there were other aspects around her story that we could argue about.
You should get untired, because it feels like it's going to go on for the rest of her life.
It does. And I'm just like, I just wish that, I wish that she would like get drunk and like throw up on someone's couch just to argue about something else for once. You know what I'm saying?
But by the way, that's why I almost loved the Erica Janes when I loved the getting drunk on antidepressants, because it was at least something to like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. Like, I love her yelling at a kid. Like,
her drunk on the boat in Mexico. I was like, and she had her fucking pussy out to the air. She was like, fuck
piss
everybody.
on her, piss on her.
I was like, you know what? This bitch is sitting down there on production's dime, thinking she might go to jail, hoping not, and living her best life in the meantime. Good for fucking you.
But also, that's why I would never say yes to it, because I'd be like, I'd be hitting that free booze so hard. I'd be Erica Jane in it all over the place.
I come home from the bar and get nervous about what I said to people. I can't imagine being surrounded by a film crew and not having any idea what I said or did,
But you're right. I think Erica Jane is guilty of a lot of things. I'm not saying like in the ton, but what I do like is when we get to see, I mean, I appreciated the drunk element because it was something different. Yes. And it was something like, my thing is, and I want to see her. She talks about how much dick she's getting all the time. Show me a gentleman caller. Show me somebody knocking on the door. Show me just a shadow.
Go on a date. We need to see Erica on a date. 100%.
Like, I don't love Erica, but I would support that so hard.
We need an Erica, like Tamara Eddie bathtub scene. It's time.
I will say, and we're nearing Halloween season. One of the scariest scenes on Bravo ever was the Tamara in the bathtub with it. Because Christian, that poor cameraman went home that day and like had a family, and he was all ashamed of his job. He's like, I had to, like you can just see he's like in cargo pants, like filming their romantic.
Is this even like a union? Like, is this allowed in like the union? Like, am I allowed to see people do this?
Am I in the Directors Guild anymore? Yeah. Wait. What do you think about Tamara coming back?
I'm
and why not Vicki? Why not Vicki?
I have no idea. Trust me, I've asked. Listen, whenever I was in Mexico for my birthday, I had gotten pretty much tipped off like the week before that Tamara was coming back. Yeah. Taylor was going to be in the loop, but there was nothing about Vicki. So when I was down there with her, I said, like, have you heard anything? Have you checked your spam email?
I have.
Like spam. Like, she's like, no, nothing. And I was like, okay, maybe they'll wait till the last minute because they know you'll say yes, that you're, and they just don't want you to spill it, But last I heard, there still hasn't. But
you were excited about Tamara coming back.
I'm very excited about Tamara coming back. It's a step in the right direction. I would much rather do that than them. Obviously, OC's casting there is not their strong department. If we look at what history is giving us, so let's just go back to what we had when it was good. you know.
And we see the closing of Cut Fitness. I mean, these Housewives
I know.
businesses. I mean, like I was like looking at Eddie's post and he's like selling 40-pound dumbbells. And I'm like, and then I was like, do I need something from Cut Fitness? I was like, should I buy something from Cut Fitness just to have it?
They were giving away fucking tires. I was like, I'm cheap as shit. My mom says if it's free, it's for me. I don't know what the fuck I'll do with it, but I'll take it.
So back to Beverly Hills as we start wrapping up here. I don't know if we're legally allowed to talk about this, but Diana Jenkins has made quite an impression, not on the show, really. I mean, I would say maybe Asher's made more of an impression on me on the show, but Diana, you know, we've had cease and desist. Did you get one?
I did not.
Yeah. Well, I got scared because I started hearing that she was going to go after the memes too. And I was tipped off that she was going after more.
Yeah. I don't know why I kind of steered away from the lip licking and all that stuff this season. Something about it. I don't know. I just felt, I don't know.
Wait, what do you mean? Like you were like, that's too easy of a joke? Or well, she wasn't.
No, it wasn't about I think it's the really rich ones I'm scared of. Like, that's why, like, you know, I mean, I haven't posted too much about the Kathy allegations in the beginning either. I was like, I don't want nothing. These are the ones that got real money. You know, these ain't the genius.
That's what I'm like. I'm like, well, that's why it's so funny with Lisa, because I feel like she's waged a one-woman campaign, or maybe her and Erica, since the actual date of the Aspen trip against Kathy. Like, we've heard about this because of Lisa since Kathy. And I always say this on the show. I'm like, you guys don't get it, man. Like, Kathy has money. Like, don't, like, you know, Kathy, and I'm not saying she's like an evil genius, but I'm saying she's not a complete like loopy idiot. Like, everybody wants to pay.
Yeah.
Well, like I'm saying she does have opinions. She does get offended. And there's only so much Kathy can be pushed. Like, I just don't think it's smart sometimes. Like, I'm like, Lisa, listen, like, you know, Harry's going to have to work double time if you keep doing what you're doing, you know?
Yeah. And these aren't allegations like her and Kyle got into a screaming fight or she got drunk and fell.
It was like slurs.
And I was like, no, that's stuff that if proven to be false is defamation, and ain't no Hilton coming at me for defamation.
Yeah.
Number one, there ain't nothing to get, but I also just don't want to deal with it.
But also, I just always don't understand the argument of like Lisa Lisa, none of you guys are good. Like, the fact that you're on a reality show to begin with already makes you all suspect. Like, I don't look to Kathy to teach me how to treat people. I don't look to any of these ladies to teach me how to, like, so the fact that Rinna is screaming so loud, and then, you have to hate that Patrick Summers kid as much as I do.
Oh my God.
Fuck that dude. Like,
no,
that's insane. I don't
understand how Bravo hasn't taken legal action to shut him the fuck up.
And people are doing lives with him and stuff. I'm like, what the? I saw you put Summer or Bravo While Black, I think, said, and like, I think Faces by or Steven came on real quick. I didn't watch the clip because he just grosses me out. But I'm like, stop giving this dude any attention. It's so weird.
It actually kind of, if I'm being honest, it kind of scares me. Like, the ways and the lies that he comes up with about these women, knowing that it's just to get people riled up for an hour or two, just so he can later admit that it was like a joke. Like, what the fuck? And also
the Bravo like IG accounts, like, we got to be better at that. Like, come on, you know, like, I know we all want followers. I know we all want to be cool, but like, listen, we're already dorks already. We're all on Instagram. Like, don't give this guy a platform ever, you know?
Like, nothing good is going to come out of that. Anybody that has admitted to the lies that he admitted to once, and he's admitted to them more than once, is not anybody you should associate with.
Exactly.
You know?
So lastly, who do you think there will be a cast shakeup? I'm of the mind of, everybody thinks because I rail so much against Erica, Jane, and Rinna that I want them gone. I've never said that. Personally, up until I've seen certain behaviors, I was like, Rinna can decide when she wants to go. But then this season happened, and I was like, because then I think about Dorinda being put on pause. Do you think there will be a cast shakeup?
I think up until a couple of weeks ago, things were probably pretty clear what was going to happen. I think there would be a Diana departure. I think maybe a demotion somewhere. Maybe. But other than that, I think they would have kept it as is. I mean, why would they change it? Ratings are the highest of like almost any show on Bravo. However, I do think recent weeks, not because of anything that's gone on the show, but just how like Rinna has been so clearly like publicly against like the Bravo community. She's commenting about how she wants to remove herself from it.
Bye.
So, I mean, to me, that is, you know,
well, you posted today. You posted today on your Instagram. She is supposedly not going to be at BravoCon now.
And there is no, and I don't care if someone was like, well, they're not paying her. I was like, I don't care. She would go. They will all go.
Oh, you get paid in the adulation, which is what she loves the most.
100%. And it's even if they don't get paid, it's not an expense for them to be there. Like everything is cut, you know, like their glam and all that shit's fucking paid for. So she very clearly is not coming for a reason. I
wonder if she's trying to play hard to get like negotiation wise.
Oh, I think that reason is very clear. And I think that reason's going to be announced soon. That's just my opinion. I think that she's out personally.
Yeah. Did you hear, I mean, what dirt did you hear about the reunion on Friday? Anything specific?
I haven't heard anything other than, I talked to one cast member and it was just, she said, I'm not okay.
Well, I hope Crystal feels better.
But I checked in on her 2 days later. She said she was doing a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, I would never, that shit is like going to war once you get to a reunion. It's like not something that I mean, I love watching them, but it's, you know, so, okay, you guys, well, wait, there's no truth of the rumor that Lisa Rinna is not going to BravoCon because she's going to the Judds with you in Kentucky, is it?
No fucking truth to that.
So
Lisa Rinna's blocked from the Judds concert.
The Christian Grey Snow Show premieres on Friday. You're hearing this today on Thursday. So what you do, and by the way, so the Slut Pig podcast, this is an extension of that. Do we get to keep the Slut Pig pod? So if you're already subscribed to the Slut Pig podcast, do we need to resubscribe to the Christian Grey Snow Show?
Don't think so. If you click the link to go to the Christian Grey Snow Show, it'll just be all the same episodes. You should still be subscribed. The only thing that I lost were all my ratings.
Okay,
everything
so this
else
is important.
There.
What do we always say on this show, especially? Go rate it 5 stars. He took the time to be with us today. You already love him, but also if you don't like me or him or that, keep moving on. You're going to find the perfect podcast for you, but leaving a bad review, I don't know. There's just something that I think, in heaven, we're all going to find out who left reviews for who, and then you're going to have to answer for that. So you don't want that kind of karma. So go leave it 5 stars because you know it's going to be quality content, like his Instagram, like his Slut Pig shop, which you need to go get a shirt from, especially this week, as we've all been blocked by Lisa Rinna. But I'm personally excited to have you back. I really think you are a unique voice, one of the best Bravo voices. So I am so happy to scream about this podcast from the top of my lungs. So Friday, you guys, you are in for a treat. And it'll be Friday from here on, that just once a week.
Every Friday. Yep.
Okay. Hell yeah. Christian Grey Snow, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. And I'll have you on my show very, very soon.
Oh, anytime.
Yes.